Good afternoon, FSClub, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to FS News. Can you believe it's almost the end of another week? Thursday is here, and finally got some news to go over today, and yes, I know I'm a little bit late in getting this out. As you will tell from a lot of this news, it's actually starting to switch over to Farming Simulator 25 as we're getting closer and closer to that final release. Today we'll be going over construction projects, including building your own house in FS25, plus got some news on custom modding's first FS25 mods. Now for today, so for the time of recording, there is no test list. If one does come out later, it will be of course posted on the club's Discord. Link to the club's Discord is down in the description, so don't forget to join that. Question of the day. Have you pre-ordered Farming Simulator 25 and for what system? Let me know in the comments. Already got my pre-order in for FS25 and I have it on PS5 and of course the collector's edition on PC. We are less than 4 weeks away, so don't forget to get your pre-orders in. Okay, let's start off today strong with a 400 like video. So if you're excited for Farming Simulator 25, smash that like button. Remember, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button and ring that bell. Roll that intro. Let's get to this news. Welcome back, and here we go. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying your Thursday. First of all, we're going to be going over Giants' news that they've actually had this week. We're going to roll these two clips right here. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Here's a cool new feature for Farming Simulator 25.
Is fit for his age, kind-hearted, and full of stories. His son left for a city career. Good for you. The farm is your farm now. Ask him about the history of the family, like his foolish brother and his failed sugar beet stand. Or let Walter share some wholesome farming wisdom with you.
One bad harvest does not define you as a farmer, just as one twister does not define a season.
Here's a cool new feature for Farming Simulator 25.
Your neighbor David is a different kind of farmer. Not the smartest, but he means well.
Hey, would you offer massages and other wellness treatments on your farm?
He'll tell you why he fled the city and what's different about the way of life. Let him share advice based on his agricultural failures, but ignore his kitchen philosophy about being trapped in a simulation. It's nonsense.
As you can see, Farming Simulator 25 will actually feature an ensemble of characters you can actually talk to. We got Grandpa Walter, which is one of them, and of course David is one of the NPCs in Farming Simulator 25. I'm not going to know exactly how this is implemented into the game. If modders can actually use it, it's going to be really interesting to see what you can actually do with these NPC characters. Remember, this is the first time NPC characters are actually in Farming Simulator. But could you imagine if modders can actually get a hold of this? They can make completely whole stories on their maps. Okay, the next thing to talk about is actually from Giants. A new blog did release today, and this is on constructions, town projects, and collectibles. Farmers who are particularly dedicated and involved in their town's community will find a wealth of new building opportunities in Farming Simulator 25. Whether you just want to start a profitable side business or want to make a lasting mark on the region, let's take a look at some of the construction projects. The first one, let's make some nice things. In addition to production chains where you produce bread or cakes in the bakery, flour in the grain mill, or canned goods in the soup factory, there are some special repeatable constructions. So do you remember, of course, the piano maker in Selinka? I do. It's actually a pretty good one. Not only will the artisan workshop for finely crafted pianos make a comeback and open branches outside its hometown in Riverbend Springs or Pontai, if you want to invest in their expansion to new territories, but there are also other new businesses waiting for our involvement. You can also make a historic wagon builder. Established in Riverbend Springs in 1904, Silver Shaft Wagon still produces some very fancy horse-drawn carriages, requiring wooden boards as well as fabrics and rope to build one wagon. The final product is one of love letter to craftsmanship and a profitable one for you. You can also make a playground. What's a town without a playground, and a playground without toys? Think of the kids. Then help to construct some wooden toy tractors for the local playground in Riverbend Springs by delivering planks and boards. You can also make monuments. Riverbend Springs and Hunton Pontai, which I probably butchered that name, feature even bigger construction projects. Let's call them community projects, big plans of the respective town to build something monumental. This requires way more time and effort. If your farming operations is not enough for you, and you as a farmer want to shape not only the fields but an entire town, this might be your end game. So this kind of reminds me of, remember the roller coaster in was it Silver Run? Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. Now, the big question I have for all this is, can modders do this on their maps? Can they make huge projects? Because I'm seeing, like, you know, maybe a modder making you start off with no farm and you actually have to build your own farm. That'd be pretty neat right there. But let's get back into this blog. Now, one of the big projects is, of course, the Playground project on Riverbend Springs. There's a rather big project by an absent toy maker who doesn't tend to finish his big projects himself, but needs some help. He doesn't stop at toy tractors, but his agricultural magnum opus is something else. Grandpa Walter and Noah can tell you more about the actual intention of the project. Emotionally prepare yourself to deliver a whole range of resources over multiple stages until this one is finished. So you see that right there. There's also one on the Hunton Pontai map, and this is the temple grounds. To add to the Asian flair, Hunton Pontai wants to rebuild some of the old temple grounds, keeping the aesthetics of what their ancestors once built here. By the way, there are also some collectibles to be found all around the region. They will be displayed in the temples as soon as they are built. They call them crop orbs because they're orbs with crops inside of them. Also, Riverbend Springs, a grain elevator museum. Since Riverbend Springs used to be the place full of good old wooden grain elevators, there's even one left. Unfortunately, it's in pretty rough shape because it hasn't been used in a long time, this is like one of the first things we actually seen for FS25. We thought, you know, you'd be able to rebuild it and then you'd be able to use it. That is not the case. Well, I don't know if you'd be able to actually use it, but what it's going to be used as is a museum. As historic as the grain elevator itself, there are various objects of agricultural significance tucked away around Riverbend Springs. So kind of like a collectibles. Instead, you're finding the pieces to this right here. How did they get there? Well, there's a history to it. Maybe Walter can clear it up if you decide to talk to him and he happens to bring it up. As if all the old stuff belongs in the museum, guess what? The old grain elevator, when renovated, will become a museum for those interesting remnants of times gone by. Just wonder if you're able to actually use it. Probably not, though. Now, something big on there, build our own house too. If you're looking for a new home, build one. There are some new additional farmhouses and barns available, but you cannot just buy them and place them. You have to supply the resources first. You want to go in? Go ahead. When the construction site is cleaned up, you can enter your new home. Maybe your multiplayer friends will want to check it out when you are brainstorming the next steps on your field for the day. Really like that silo home right there. So that right there is the blog on that. Remember, if you guys are on PC and you're interested in actually pre-ordering this, don't forget to use the club's affiliate link down in the description. You'll be one of the first ones to actually get the game because they usually, well, Giants usually releases it on their website first, and then I believe Xbox, and then Steam, and then PlayStation. But yeah, it's looking really good. Now let's get to some news for FS22. The first one we have is actually from Cola Modding, the Lizard Joel G2, which is now the Lizard G2 at MH's request, the Modib's request, returned yesterday. He's already corrected it and sent it again. Let's wait for the next few days to see if it actually goes into testing again. So this did fail. Hopefully it does pass this next time. And then just a little bit of an update on the Jeep Willys from Hispano Modding. Says, we are coming to the end. How do you see it? So this is a few tease pictures right here of the Jeep Willys. I'm suspecting that this thing will probably be coming out in FS22 and FS25, but probably not actually come out until FS25 is released. Now, the last piece of news to go over for today is actually from our good friend Custom Modding, confirmed for the first weeks of Farming Simulator 25. The first one we have is the Case IH 2150 12, 16, 24 row early rise planters. Ranked first in the most voted mod, the most complete planter on the mod hub will be available with all existing versions and enhanced features as it transitions to FS25. Then the big one right here, the Honeybee Airflex series and the Demco header transport trailers. Despite Giants announcing the MacDon, our Honeybee Airflex series was the second most voted, and for good reason. It's a highly detailed header, available in all versions, and comes in a massive 60-foot size. So those are the first two big mods that he's actually going to be bringing over right there, and I cannot wait. Mainly those honeybees. I use that a lot on FS22. And so there you have it right there. There was all the news for today. A lot of FS25 stuff. I'm just going to warn you, as soon as, FS25 does come out, guys, mods for FS22 will 100% slow down. And then there's just going to be one day where basically no more FS22 mods. So just going to warn you if you're planning on staying on FS22. I'm really excited for FS25. Everything's looking really, really good. There is some stuff, of course, I would have liked to see. Like, we haven't seen anything about precision farming yet. Like how the whole grazing thing's going to be working, if there's any additions to seasons. I mean, there is some stuff that I would like to see also in the FS25. But other than that, it does look like it's going to be a very good game, and I can't wait to see what modders actually do with this. Okay, like always, if you guys did enjoy the video, a like would be appreciated. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the club. Don't forget to hit that sub button and ring that bell. I do live stream tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so hopefully I see every single one of you guys in there. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth.